What's up, everybody? Welcome back to New York City. All right, we'll just do a quick audio check. So if you could hear me and if we are streaming in 1080p, go ahead and give us a thumbs up in the chat and we will get started here in just a moment. It's good to see everybody. Hey everybody, what's going on? Hopefully you all are well. Good evening. It is Wednesday, December 20th, 2023. We are now reporting live from Billionaires Row here in New York City. Yeah, that's right. 56th and 57th Street and Madison Avenue. It's a pretty cold night here in New York City. I think it's going to be in the mid-30s, maybe even low 30s as the night progresses. But you know what I want to do tonight, which I'm really excited about? Now, supposedly the numerals are yet again here in Times Square. So I think I'm going to muster up as much mental fortitude and defiance as possible to make our way to Times Square tonight to check out those 2024 numerals, which I think is very exciting. And it's almost 2024. The city is going into the holidays, particularly Christmas. Christmas Eve is on Sunday. So let's check that out. Let's see what that's all about. The stream may be cut short tonight, everybody, because I'm running a little low on battery and I forgot to charge my stuff today, which I apologize. It's been a crazy day, crazy week, so I do apologize for that. But let's jump right into it. Let's talk a little bit about the market. I think the most notable thing that happened today is check out the VIX. Okay, ticker symbol VIX, the CBOE Volatility Index, up about 10% on the day. Now, if you look at the major equity indices, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average, we had a little bit of a pullback today, and all of the indices, I'll try to give you a visual here, are very, very, I would say extremely extended from not only their 50-day moving averages, but their 200-day moving averages. Now, historical extension from the 200-day that usually warrants a pullback is right around 12%. Well, the NDX of the NASDAQ 100 is extended just over 15%. And the NASDAQ 100 is sitting right at pretty much new all-time record highs, new all-time high record territory. So I think it's normal to get a digestion here, let the moving averages catch up. Because I mean, ever since October 30th to be exact, we've pretty much just been straight up in a 90-degree angle. Also, we had some expirations today, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But let's move over to crude oil, ticker symbol CL. Crude is still trading below $75 a barrel, and it's actually looking like the 50-day moving average is going to cross below the 200-day, sort of a bearish cross there. But I think the good news is that, as we head into the holidays, Christmas is coming, then New Year's is coming. A lot of Americans are going to be out and about traveling, and we want people to pay as little as possible at the pump. So that's, I would say, is the good news. Just a couple quick announcements tomorrow after the market closes. So right at around 6 p.m., I am going to be sending out the final edition of the Behind the Street newsletter for the year. So this is the last 2023 edition. So go ahead and check your emails after the market closes to receive that. We have a lot of stuff to talk about and a lot of stuff to cover there. If you are not yet signed up to our free investing newsletter, you can do so by scanning the QR code on your screen and just punching in your email, okay? Go ahead and do that, and then look in your email box around 6:30 p.m. tomorrow night, because I will be sending that out. We're going to talk about a lot. We're going to be talking about the money market phenomenon. We're going to be doing a deep dive into some Federal Reserve data, and we're going to be talking about small caps and maybe some forecasts for interest rates as we look further out into 2024. So with that being said, everybody, I'm going to close up the laptop, and we will get started here in just a moment. So thank you all for joining me on this very frigid day in New York City. Give me just a moment and we will get started. You know, to be honest, the majority of the day today seemed like the city was pretty empty. I was taking the trains, I was all over the city, had a lot of showings today, but you know, the city kind of seemed empty, and it kind of makes sense, right? Usually, particularly people who commute into the city for work, particularly if you work in the finance sector or tech, I really think the whole week is kind of shot now, right? Christmas Eve is on Sunday, Christmas Day is on Monday, and perhaps everybody is going to be taking advantage of this extra long weekend. So hopefully many of you that are watching the live stream tonight will be able to take advantage of that. Maybe some of you are off starting tomorrow, who knows? All right, let's say hello to everybody in the chat. I see Gary Carpenter, good to see you. Richard Vogel is here, welcome Richard. Lori, yesterday 15. I see Mary, welcome. Victor, Steph UF, DC322 is in the house. Austin City Limits, Sally, it's good to see you. Bree Grams, Mega Try 4, what's going on? 2545 is here, welcome. Sam Plays Crypto Meme, it's good to see you. Nate Webb is joining us. Jacob Day says, do you ever walk downtown or to the outer boroughs? The office, I mean, in and out of the office all day. I literally just stopped working all of 10 minutes ago or 11 minutes ago once I started the stream. So my office is right over here. I guess we got time to kill. 575 Madison Avenue. So if I'm doing work, if things are busy, I kind of have to be here, right? Particularly if I'm writing offers. I have to do so at the office, get administration, like admin approval and stuff like that. So I have to be here, which I like. I like working here. I like working on 57th Street, right on Madison Avenue, particularly during the middle of the day, because Madison Avenue, Park Avenue is absolutely buzzing during the day. It just gives you so much positive and good energy to have, fellow working people, in the city, with a lot of energy. So I like it. So to answer your question, we do walk other neighborhoods, but over the last couple weeks, it's just been really tough to start the stream in Lower Manhattan, Brooklyn, because I've been here, right? I've been here. But although tomorrow, fingers crossed, hopefully I'll be able to start the broadcast right outside of the New York Stock Exchange, because we've only really ever seen the Christmas tree down on Wall Street, I believe twice. I think only twice. And that's my personal favorite Christmas tree in all of Manhattan. I think it's much better than the one at Rockefeller Center, although that one is beautiful as well. It's going to be a windy night and I don't have the microphone, so I do apologize for that. Yeah, Apollos Adventures is the numerals of 2024 arrived at Times Square today. I'm really excited about that. We'll start walking downtown so we have the wind at our back here. Yeah, let's check that out. I haven't seen it today. I was watching a video on Twitter of the numerals arriving. So if we walk to Times Square, we should be able to see the 2024 numbers all lit up, which is kind of cool because that's going to be all the way up top at one Times Square, where they're going to be dropping the ball pretty soon here. Can't even believe that, but it's true. 2024 is only just a couple days away, really. I mean, less than 2 weeks. So, hey, Unij23, good to see you. Welcome to a very windy and frigid Manhattan today. Good to see everybody. Joseph Hardaway, NNB 045. What's going on? Yeah, but you know, I kind of like this time of year, particularly headed into New Year. Because usually the last couple days, you know, after Christmas, things will kind of die down. There's not too many people at work, right? All the big, you know, bosses are out of the office. So you have some time to sort of reflect on the year and do some planning, so to speak, right? Now, if you're in corporate America, usually planning for the next year happens at the end of October. But I think personally, you know, that's one of the things I always like to do, is sit down. Usually I like to carve out 1 or 2 days. This is a pretty amazing shot of the Jeffries building here. Look at that, very cool. But you know, I like carving out like 1 or 2 days, you know, maybe go to a coffee shop or, you know, go to the office when nobody's there and just plan out your year. You know, what do you want your year to look like? Maybe do an audit of the things you've done in the current year, right? In the investment business, if you're running money, you call it a post-analysis. So you go through your portfolio, you go back through all of your, you know, activity, right? Anytime you've executed a trade idea, you go through every single one of them, right? And you do a post-analysis to sort of decompress why you made that particular decision in the market, and you essentially do an audit. I do that every year, and you know, I think it's important to do that not only as it relates to the investment business, but in anything in your life, right? Maybe you got a new job, maybe you made a decision to move to a new city, right? Move to a new country, right? Audit those decisions. Were they good decisions? How could you have made better decisions throughout the new year? What were the worst decisions you made throughout the year, right? What are some of the decisions you're like, oh man, that was really, really stupid of me to do that? And then you could sort of project forward to help improvement for the next year. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing. When I was down in Miami, Florida, I think about, what was it, 2 weeks ago now, maybe a week and a half, I kind of took the time to do some of that. I'm not quite yet finished, but I don't know, does anybody else in the chat do that? Take a couple days just to sit down, do a post-analysis and an audit of all the decisions you made the previous year, and then kind of go forward. Dan Sangs, Tom, what's the craziest thing you've done this year? If you still haven't, there's still some time left. Yeah, that's true. There's still a week and a half left. I don't know. I don't know if I've done anything crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would say if I've done anything crazy. I think I've made a few big decisions this year, right? One of which is, or I should say was, leaving my very lucrative career in tech sales to sort of venture into a whole new market, right? I think that was a big decision. I don't know if I would call it crazy, but maybe a little bit of a contrarian bet. But yeah, I don't know, nothing too crazy. What about you? Paul says do an audit every other day. Yeah, I guess the more the merrier. Look at these Christmas chocolates here. Lionel B. Bears is doing a year-end assessment now. Very good. Cool. Derek Dulce's joining us. Very cool. What's going on? Main Street Moments says New York City is very pretty this time of year. I agree. The city looks beautiful, all lit up. Now, speaking of pretty, by the way, just off to the left, East 51st Street in Madison is the New York Palace. And I think it's open. I think it's open right now. So we'll take a walk in the courtyard. We haven't been there in a while. I think that's one of my favorite holiday displays in the city. Yeah, this is by far my favorite display. Look at that. If we have time, we'll even go inside. But I just want to make sure my gimbal doesn't die before I show you guys the numerals in Times Square. I feel like I was just doing this stream a minute ago. I actually remember doing our 2022 Christmas Eve live stream. I vividly remember that. I was in the WeWork building right in Grand Central Station, and I remember it was ridiculously cold. I think it was 0 degrees, quite literally 0 degrees, and with the wind chill it was in the negatives on Christmas last year. It was horrible. Beautiful Christmas tree outside of the New York Palace. Hey Caitlin, what's up? Greg Peters says you remember that? Yeah, that was brutal. It was definitely not fun doing those streams. On Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, it was freezing. And that's sort of what I call it's cold for no reason, right? Because it was Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, 0 degrees, and there was no snow. So it's not even like it was a nice white Christmas. It was just absolutely bone-chilling freezing temperatures, which was kind of a bummer. This is a pretty cool view of 270 Park Avenue amongst the clouds here. Hey, Tariq Khan, what's going on? Says the New York Palace is always a great stay for me and my family. It's a beautiful hotel. Very pricey hotel, but very beautiful, I should say. I always recommend, if you're looking for a really nice place to stay as well, if you haven't tried out the Park Hyatt Hotel, that's my personal favorite one. If you have the money to spend, you gotta try it at least once. It's an amazing hotel. And it's inside the 157 building, which is the first building ever constructed on New York City's Billionaires Row. We'll take a little loop around here. It's also cool because the hotel amenities, right, at the 5-star hotel at the Park Hyatt is shared with the residences who live in the building, right? Now, most notably, actually the broker that has his office right next to ours at Douglas Elliman on the 6th floor, Noble Black, he just went into contract, I think, with one of the most expensive pieces of New York City real estate sold in 2023, and it was the 83rd floor, the entire 83rd floor of 157. It's incredible. I think it's over 6,500 square feet. You're perfectly centered on Central Park, and you have unobstructed views to the south of the Empire State Building, One Vanderbilt, the Chrysler Building, pretty much every single building on Billionaires Row, right? From 432 Park Avenue to the Steinway Tower. And on a clear day, you can see all the way down to the World Trade Center, which is really incredible. So if you go on Street Easy, or you just Google 157 Unit 83, you can see some photos, and it went into contract with just 2 weeks on the market, and it went under contract for $34 million, I believe. I don't know if there was any concessions or something, but yeah, very, very popular building there on Billionaires Row. So the last thing I'll say about 157, that building is almost completely sold out. So there's only one sponsor unit left. Now, a sponsor unit essentially means that the developer still owns that unit, right? So at 157, the developer is Extel, and I believe it's unit 32D. 32D. It's the second, it's one of two units that have outdoor space at 157. And a lady bought it, right? So originally a lady bought it from Extel, right? But she only wanted to use it for the outdoor terrace so she could paint on it. So she never lived in it. She lived on the east side, I believe, and she would walk over to Billionaires Row just so she could go on the terrace and paint in her $4 million apartment. And then she sold it back to Gary Burnett and Extel. So technically it's still a sponsor unit. So if you wanted to purchase it, you would just get a punch list and they would make everything, you know, brand new for you. So pretty interesting. I met with the, you know, the head of sales at Extel, or Central Park Tower, who also runs sales at 157, and he was telling me that story. And I mean, talk about an interesting New York City story there. Anyway, all right, everybody, let's head inside and let's check out the interior of the New York Palace. Over the next year, I'll be telling you guys even more interesting New York City real estate stories that will probably blow your mind. Wow, this is really pretty in here. I think my favorite thing about the inside of the New York Palace is all of these crown moldings. Look at that. I mean, just the detail on the ceiling is really incredible. What do you guys think from seeing the interior of the Plaza Hotel and then now seeing the interior of the New York Palace? Which one would you say you prefer? Let's go down the stairs. So just off to the left here is a full-scale gingerbread house of the hotel. Let's check it out if the internet holds up. So you have the courtyard, you have your restrooms, you have the ballroom, and I think you have the lobby lounge right here. Oh my gosh, that's insane. So for some context, everybody, we entered right here. So we walked down the sidewalk and we entered here. We were checking out the Christmas tree. And now we are inside this gingerbread house. That's so unique, isn't it? It says it took over 200 hours to construct, which includes a roof of 1,462 individually baked shingles. Okay, that's pretty impressive. Hey, what's up, D? I see Hawaii is in the chat. Good to see you. And then this is that big staircase that we just walked down a moment ago. Oh, cool. Vinny says, I have been reading the Billionaires Row book by Catherine Clark, and it is a great compilation of those real estate stories. That's a great book. And Catherine Clark is an amazing journalist. She's very, very talented. She is the main real estate journalist at the Wall Street Journal. That's an awesome book. If anybody's interested in, the very exclusive New York City luxury real estate market, particularly on Billionaires Row, right? So on 57th Street, check out that book. I think it's only like $25 on Amazon. Highly recommended. Highly, highly recommended. I think I've sent it to some of you before. But that's a fantastic book. All right, let's head out and around. And we will head to Times Square. Hey, Dan Zanks, Tom, do you have any lounge recommendations in Manhattan to have drinks with friends especially and have great conversations? Yeah, I have a few. My top two are as follows. Number one, it's called The Living Room. And funny enough, it's inside 157. Now, it's open to the public. You don't have to be a resident or a tenant of 157 to go there. So check that out. It's called The Living Room. It's right on 57th Street. I go there a lot. I used to take clients there all the time. It's a little pricey, but I think it's worth it. It's a nice place. And number two, I would say the Campbell Bar, which is right in Grand Central Station, Grand Central Terminal. If you can grab a table there, that's a really nice place. So I'd say those two, for sure. Put you guys down here so I can put on my hat because it is quite windy. All right, let's head out. West Coast Beats says, is this guy gay? Why, are you interested? Austin City Limits, good to see you. I think this is also a pretty good lobby at 473 Madison Avenue. Not as good as the Nürburgring Berman lobby though. So we'll go down to 48th Street and we'll bang a right. And that's gonna literally bring us right to where the numerals are, just at Times Square North. This way we'll avoid sort of the majority of the crowds from, I should say, the Saks Fifth Avenue light show. We've seen that a lot, and I think my gimbal's gonna die in a couple minutes, so I wanna make sure we get that. Matthew says, Tom, how has your week been? It's been good. It's just been very busy. It's been nonstop, but that's never something to complain about. That's good. My boss told me something today. She's like, in the real estate business, one day nothing happens, and then the next day everything happens. And I'm not really used to that, right? Because in the tech sales world, it's sort of kind of steady. Business is generally, steady throughout the year. Now, usually at the end of the quarter, it'll pick up, but sometimes, in the real estate business, if you're trying to contact somebody for like 3 months, it'll be radio silence. And then the next day, they'll get back to you, saying, yeah, I need to see this property now, and I want to put in an offer. And you're like, whoa, okay. It's, wouldn't say strange, but it's funny because usually once business picks up, everybody is sort of demanding your attention all at once. And that is kind of near impossible because you can't be everywhere at the same time, right? So it's tough. This is the main construction site here at 270 Park. Yeah, that's true. TK Porsche is in its new in residential. Now that real estate or that mortgage rates are falling, it's true. Got the food delivery bike guys speeding. Hey Penelope, what's going on? Hopefully you're feeling better. That's not the first person who's told me they were under the weather. A lot of people are out sick in New York. Something may be going around. Kristen S is here. This is good evening. Welcome to New York City. We're headed to see the numerals that are finally here in New York City. The 2024 official numerals that will be up top of One Times Square when the ball drops here in just a little under 2 weeks. So tomorrow is Thursday, and I was able to film I think you guys are really gonna like this, the tour of our new project on 19th Street. It's an amazing penthouse with unobstructed views of all of Midtown Manhattan. You can see the Empire State Building all the way to the Hudson Yards. Beautiful. So you'll be able to see that video tomorrow, just after the market closes. I'm going to be sending that out in our newsletter. So if you want to receive that video, the exclusive tour of the penthouse, you could type !news in the chat, NEWS, or you could just scan the QR code on your screen and just punch in your email. And right around 6:30, give or take, I'll send that out to everybody. Not as many people as I was expecting, honestly. Usually as you cross north of 48th Street on 5th, it's a lot of people. All right, we may buffer a little bit around here just because there's a lot of foot traffic. Hey, it's PB. This is Tom. Will you be able to get to Miami for part of the holidays? I don't think so. I usually spend the majority of my holidays here in New York, mainly because that's where the family is here, right? And yeah, I have my place rented out down there for the next 45 days, I think. But the good news is the weather hasn't really been all that bad here in New York City. But down in Miami, we had like 5 straight days of pouring rain. So I guess it's good that I wasn't there for that. Blues Riders is not missing much, Tom. Wow, this is a pretty cool view of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree from over here. Lou 72, what's going on? Good to see you. Jacqueline is here. William, Jessica says, hey Tom, thanks for the stream. I made a reservation for brunch at Astor Court. Very cool. Merry Christmas to you, and thank you for being here. I know Jonathan from Florida says, I'm ready for the summer. Not a fan of the cold weather. Same here. I think, you know, around the holidays, it's all right. I wouldn't mind, you know, a little snow flurries for Christmas. But I think after that, you know, after the holidays, it's kind of just cold for no reason. So. I think I like this angle of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree a little bit better from over here. I wonder what this building is going to be. It looks like they just did a big demolition. Maybe it's going to be some super tall, who knows? Yeah, music to relax. There's no more parking spaces. Now the city on the Upper East Side, they've announced that they're going to alternate blocks and install more city bikes. So there's going to be even less street parking in New York City, which probably means the garages are going to go up in price. I mean, some people pay, you know, $600 a month just to park their car in a garage in New York City. One of the garages we saw on the Upper East Side, if you have like a nice car, a sports car, they charge you $1,300 a month just to park your vehicle, which is kind of crazy. I mean, that's rent for some people, right? 1,300 bucks? That's what many people pay for rent or a mortgage. Some individuals in this city are paying that every month just to park a car. I don't know. For me, I think it's kind of wasteful, but I get it. You know, if you have kids or something like that, and you need a car, understand. All right, this is the News Corporation building. I don't know if we're gonna make it before the gimbal dies. We'll see. We'll do our best. College try. Okay, I think there's a little bit of a buffer zone here. But I think once we get to Broadway, we should be out of that. We'll see. to the Hard Rock, New York. I've honestly never even noticed this until today. The Hard Rock Hotel. Anybody ever stayed here? It actually kind of looks nice. The lobby looks all brand new. I know Brad's brain says, wow, there's still a Hard Rock Cafe. This is Hard Rock Hotel. And the lobby actually looks really nice. We are, I think, about a block away. I think once we get there, the gimbal is going to die. So I think we're making good timing. I think they set it up right here. This is where it was last year. It was just in front of those red steps. Ah, here it is. Very cool. 2024. Maybe they'll have it here every year, or in a similar spot, same spot. So this is going to be all the way on top.
Okay. What time is it? What time is it?
Yeah, D's like, Tom's feeling brave tonight. Yeah, I feel like, you know, I think this is the first night that it's here. So we might as well check it out. It says 2024 numerals on tour from California to New York. Wow. Dan saying, says, is Planet Fitness still sponsoring the ball drop? I'm not too sure. I would imagine so, right? It's funny, I used to work in this express right here, right behind this guy. Jonathan from Florida says, Tom, will you be down there when the ball drops? Probably not in Times Square. Maybe on the outskirts of Times Square. I don't know. I just really don't like the crowds, I guess. I'm not a really big crowds kind of guy. I don't like being sandwiched in. So maybe I'm almost definitely going to be in the city for New Year's. pretty much 100%. I just don't know if I'm going to be here in Times Square. Hey, Juan Fernandez, what's up? Western Mass Dave. Good to see you. All right, let's loop around and head back to the office because that's where I got to go anyway. What about you? What are you guys doing for New Year's? Anybody have any interesting New Year's plans? Anybody do anything fun, exciting, cool? Hey, Matt. Good evening, Tom, and everybody. This is I Am Late Tonight. Yeah, you and me both. I was pretty late too. I started at like 9:15. Times Square actually looks pretty nice tonight. I like all the Christmas colors, and I like this Coca-Cola advertisement here. Kumar says, what camera do you use? We're using an iPhone 13 mini today. If you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these live streams pretty much every day starting at 8:30. Dan Sang says, I'm probably doing something crazy for New Year's Eve. Are you going to be in the city or are you going to be out in Queens? Hey, Kevin, what's going on? Just tell my wife Beth hi. Good to see you, Beth. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. You know, all the major equity indices are really extended from the 200 and the 50-day. But breadth is improving. So I think once this market comes back and digests this move here, I think things are looking pretty good. So appreciate you very much.
Right here. Yo, this shit is crazy, man.
Texas Roadhouse for the first time.
So find something you want a picture of.
All right, let's try to exit this buffering zone here. Head over to the left. Kumar says, Tom, can you switch to the wide angle in Times Square for a moment? Sure, let's try it out. Now, we usually do the wide angle during the day, but let's see how it looks at night. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is there enough light for the wide angle? I don't know. You can see 5 Times Square, which is totally vacant now. I think maybe it works in Times Square just because of all the lights here, you know what I mean? But I think anywhere else in the city, I don't know, Kumar. I think it looks pretty good, actually. Now, I've tried to film the wide angle in 4K during the day, but you really, really need to have like a full blast sunny day for it to look really good. Hey, Bighorn MT says, Tom, I might be planning a trip in April. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's a really good time to visit. I think that's when the cherry blossoms are blooming in Central Park, right? In April, maybe end of April? I don't know, I forget. But yeah, I mean, look, April's a little bit hit or miss in the city because it could either be really, really nice or it could be like raining almost every day. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'd much rather come in April than, you know, in the middle of January. Oh, no way. Someone says, hey, from above, we're staying at the Renaissance this week. Wow. So where is that? Let me try to find that. I forget where that is. That's so cool. You must have a great view. This is where they dropped the ball on New Year's Eve, right here at the top of 1 Times Square. Times Square actually looks pretty nice tonight. It's not too crazy. We're right outside of the NASDAQ here. Ah, cool. It's across from Hershey's and the M&M's. Great spot. All right, so you're a little bit more north. You're like central, you're Times Square north, which I think is a little bit better. That's good. That's awesome. Enjoy your stay. Someone's like, hey, Tom, do you know anything about the new Argentine president? You know, I don't, but I'm a little bit intrigued by it because he's such a controversial character, right? I mean, I'm just being honest. I really don't know too much about him. I think, you know, with all the craziness that we have going on in the United States, I have my hands full just trying to keep up with the craziness that's going on here. But from what I hear, you know, he's taking a more radical approach to really, really shake and change things up and maybe break things. Which I think sometimes that needs to happen. You know, if things are so, you know, so screwed up, there needs to be such a drastic change to kind of, you know, shake things up a little bit. You know, we're over here in the United States complaining about, 3.1% inflation, when in Argentina it's over 100% inflation every year. So, that's not good for anybody. You can't run a sustainable economy like that. Yeah, Western Mass Dave's like it's nuts all over the world, especially right now. This place is called Tony's. I've never eaten here, but every time I walk past it, it's always packed, almost every single time. I also hear that he's, very pro sound money, pro Bitcoin, which kind of reminds me of the president of El Salvador. I believe Bukele is his name. Is that correct? He was sort of one of those people who went in and sort of shook up El Salvador. Very, very, I would say, drastic change there. Right there. Fine. All right, let's cross the street. Maybe we'll switch off the wide-angle lens. Oh, it's not bad. Kristen S's, we tried. Oh, we are at Tony's. Not bad. Wood Fire Pizza. You're there right now? Like literally right now? I was gonna say, if you're there right now, I'll stop streaming. I'll come in and grab a slice. That's so funny. Ah, 8. You ate at it. Got it. I was gonna say, let's come in. We'll join you with the team here. I'll try it. I've never been. I mean, there's so many places to eat in the city. I explained it one time, like I get FOMO, like fear of missing out. So every time I want to try a new place, this is one Vanderbilt in the distance. Every time I want to try a new place, it's like, ooh, but my go-to spot is so good. If I try this place and it's not good, I'm gonna get extreme FOMO. So Rodrigo says so he's a low regulation, kind of like deregulation, free market, kind of more laissez-faire. Wow, look at that. Yeah, Brad's brain, I'm down. We'll go to DeForest's. Great shot of the Empire in front of us. Went to Back to the Future play tonight. It was good. I didn't even know there was a Back to the Future play. That's so cool. Rodrigo says, I forgot to mention Argentinian living in Ottawa, near New York. Now, you know what I always get wrong, and excuse my ignorance, but I always get this wrong. So let's say if you want to go to, is it an Argentine restaurant? Like, how do you say it? Are you like, hey, I want to go get some Argentine food? Is that the plural? I don't know. I don't know if it's Argentine. I think it's Argentine. Is that the plural? I don't know. Food from Argentina. Argentinians or Argentines. I don't know. My favorite spot in Miami is 72nd Street in Collins. all the way up to 86th Street, and that's Little Argentina. It's amazing. No, excuse me, it's Little Buenos Aires. Really, really good stuff. Someone says it's Argentinian food. Copy that. In South Florida, there is a ton of people from Argentina. Very, very big community there. The craziest thing... Oh, you know what? Dan Sang, I think at the beginning of the live stream,
Really hard to do a song.
asked what the craziest thing I did this year.
Yeah, well, we're on the right.
I think the World Cup. Was the World Cup this year or last year? I don't even remember. Time is like an illusion to me now. But I was in Little Buenos Aires for the World Cup when Argentina won, and it was insane. I can't even remember. It was the World Cup this year or last year? I think it may have been 2 years ago. I don't even know. But that was probably the craziest thing that I've done. People were in the street. People were on the roof. It was just incredible.
That was so sad. Well, I mean, I knew it was a wig. I knew it was a wig, but I was still like, it made him look so.
It was last December. Got it.
Ryan, I know you wouldn't shut up about it.
Yeah, 2022. Got it. Got it.
With the wig, and then he came out balls, and I was like, oh. Yeah. No.
Hey, Jefferson says, what is the cost for next year in New York City for a furnished studio in Lower Manhattan? For next year? Well, it depends. So there's an application called Blue Ground. Now, Blue Ground is pretty good, but it's kind of pricey. So every time I recommend this application, just know that it's going to be more on the expensive side. They have fully furnished studio 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom apartments in Manhattan. I think the cheapest I've seen is right around $4,000. I think like $3,800, but that's fully furnished, right? And I believe they do 30-day minimum, so 30-day rentals. So if you're only going to be here in New York City for, you know, like maybe 3 or 4 months, I think that's a pretty good option. Blue Ground. You know, they have a professional property management company, you know, so you know it's going to be clean. Everything is going to be, you know, the way you want it. But I would say expect to pay anywhere from $3,800 to $4,500 for a fully furnished studio from Blue Ground. But if you want to sublet from somebody, you can probably get it for significantly cheaper. This is a really nice colored Tesla. My only concern is that during the winter it just gets too dirty, and maybe if it's laying out in the sun, it's going to get really discolored. Hey Hanks, there's a lot of businesses and firms left Times Square, either to New Jersey or new offices in Wall Street or Hudson Yards. I don't know about I don't know if anybody's moving down on Wall Street. But yeah, you're right. I think EY just left 5 Times Square. Because I mean, who wants to be right in Times Square, right? You're seeing a huge flight to quality in the New York City commercial office market, to buildings like 1 Vanderbilt, 425 Park, and the Hudson Yards. And you're seeing a lot of these older buildings become more and more vacant. Now, the highest vacancy in terms of commercial office in New York City is Lower Manhattan. right, for obvious reasons. I think the biggest blow to Lower Manhattan in 2023 was when Deutsche Bank, who used to be right at 60 Wall Street, right? They vacated their premise to take over the Time Warner Center, which is now at Columbus Circle, 59th Street. So that was the last major investment bank that was on the physical street of Wall Street. There's not really a lot of financial activity that happens down there anymore, right? The New York Stock Exchange, right on Broad Street, is kind of just like a TV studio. I mean, there is trading activity, there is market making that happens down there, yes. But really nothing in comparison to what it used to be. You know, very, very seldom does somebody actually pick up the phone and call a floor trader to make a market, right? But yeah, you're right, it's kind of interesting. But I think just ask yourself, if you were to move to Manhattan, would you want to go walk through Times Square every day to get to your office? I don't know. I don't think I would. But if you're enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We usually do these streams every day at 8:30 as we head to Pershing Square. Crazy auto. We'll do a double cross. We'll cross here and then we'll cross back just so we could see a better view. Hey, Jonathan from Florida, appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much. I know, hey, it's PB, this is Times Square, gives me anxiety just watching it. It's nice every once in a while. You know, like tonight to see the numerals there. I mean, I can only imagine what the security is going to be like for New Year's this year, right? With everything going on, with the protests, everybody trying to disrupt Grand Central Station, Penn Station. There's probably going to be like insane security for the ball drop this year. So on that thought, I'm probably going to avoid Times Square. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Let's get out of the cold here. Let's see if Zaro's Bakery is open. If it is, I actually may get something. I may get a coffee because I got to go back to the office and do some stuff. Love the coffee from this bakery here. This is a good recommendation, by the way. If anybody's looking for a good spot to get like a pastry or something, this is a good spot here. Hey, Jace, is curious as to how you overcome copyright issues with your videos. Other streamers mute the songs when playing. Yeah, the short answer is we don't overcome it. We just get hammered with the copyright, which whatever, it's whatever. I think almost every live stream, it'll be like 1 or 2 in the morning and I'll get email notifications. And they're just closing. I think I get like 5 or 10, well, not 5 or 10, 2 or 3 copyright strikes a night. It's just because of the rickshaw guys, right? Or the pedicab guys. Because they walk around, well, not walk around, they drive around blasting that music every night, the same song. That's all right though. It's not like a big deal. All right, here we are in Grand Central Station. Matt says, Tom, you drink coffee really late. This will keep you up. I got to be up late tonight. I got to be up late tonight. King of Florida. No, we could see you in the chat. We gotcha. Just sometimes I miss the chats if they're going by too fast. Look at that. Amazing shot of the chandeliers here. We'll see what's still open in the food court down here. You can see these two are doing the whisper wall. So this is the very famous whisper wall here at Grand Central Station. If you stand on that side and you talk into it, your sound will travel all the way around and to the other side. You can see that lady's doing it, and this guy. Isn't it cool? Hey, you could talk to each other. That's so funny. Cool, right? I always think about how they first figured out that it could work, right? Like, who was the first guy or girl that figured out, oh, if I stand in this corner, somebody can hear me on the other side? It's funny, right? It's cool. All right, so in a couple days, I'm gonna come here to Luke's Lobster. It's a tradition. So usually the day before Thanksgiving, I come here, a couple days before Thanksgiving. And then either on Christmas Eve or a couple days before. It's like a tradition. I like Luke's Lobster, but, you know, get ready to get your face blown off by these prices. So check this out. So I want everybody to really, really get a tight grip on your face, because if not, it's gonna rip it clean off. Look at that. So one lobster roll, okay, is $35. A crab roll is $25, and a shrimp roll is $17. If you want a specialty roll, it's a little bit more expensive, $36. But it is good. I'm not gonna lie. It's very, very good. But I do think it's a little bit aggressively priced. Then again, you're in Grand Central Station in New York City. Blues Writer, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your very generous $5 donation. I will definitely be using that towards the lobster fund. James's outrageous prices. Yeah, I wonder how much it is in other parts of the country. In New York City, it's $36 for a lobster roll. Now, there's another really good place that I'd like to recommend, but this is going to be a little bit far, and I don't know if anybody's going to be able to get there. So it's called Red Hook, Brooklyn. Okay, very far, very hard to get to. You can take I think the closest subway to Red Hook, Brooklyn is Smith Street. And then you have to walk about 20 minutes to get there. It's very secluded, but there's this place called the Red Hook Lobster Pound, and they have really good lobster rolls too. Like really, really good. I would check that place out. Hey, Elizabeth Gill, what's going on? Zozo Bob, what's up? Hey, Panda Express, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. You know, if anybody is around, I think January 14th, I forget what day that is. I mean, it's a Sunday. It's one of the Sundays in January. We're just getting ready to list one of the penthouses at the Conover. So if you want to check out the building, it's 199 Conover Street. But on January 14th, I believe, we're throwing a big event. And everybody is welcome to come if you want. We're going to get it sponsored. Has anybody heard of does anybody here drink bourbon? Anybody a big bourbon drinker in the chat? Well, if you are, there's this distilling company called Widow Jane. Again, it's called Widow Jane, and it's literally right across the street from this new development that I'm selling. So Widow Jane is going to be there sponsoring our Penthouse event. They're going to do, you know, free bourbon tasting. It's going to be cool. So if you guys want to come, I mean, honestly, anybody can. It's going to be, I think, like a 2-hour event at sunset on the roof and inside the Penthouse. And it was crazy. I think I told you already. We ordered a sauna and a cold plunge to be installed on the roof of the Penthouse, right? Come to find out, it's too heavy to fit in the elevator. So we had to rent a crane and have a crane operator lift the sauna and the cold plunge on the roof. So that was a little bit crazy, but it looks good. It looks cool. I'll shoot a video and film it and either put it up on the channel or something like that. But yeah, if you want to swing by, I'll get the date here in a few weeks. Chris B says, love bourbon. Have you heard of the brand Widow Jane? I'm not a big drinker, but supposedly Widow Jane is some pretty good stuff. I know, Dan H, I saw that trending on Twitter today, or X. I think today was VIX expiration. The VIX was up about 10% on the day. Chris B says Widow Jane is very nice. Yeah, so the Widow Jane, it's in Red Hook, Brooklyn. It's on Conover Street. I think it's 139 Conover because we are 199 Conover. And I never really knew it was a big distillery until now. So I guess what do? They import the bourbon from Kentucky and then they distill it in Red Hook? I don't know. I don't really know how bourbon is made, but it's pretty cool. I mean, they were showing me around and they were showing me this one that is bourbon that's aged, I think, 20 years or something crazy. And the bottle, the guy is like, yeah, this is $350. I'm like, 350 bucks for like just like one bottle of bourbon. That's insane. That's crazy. But I think that's one of the most expensive ones. I never knew I never knew they cost that much. All right, let's head out this side and to the left, or to the right. Yeah, it's true. Dee says hopefully we'll run into some carolers before Christmas. We did last year, right at the Rockefeller Center Christmas show. Remember that? That was pretty cool. Joe Driver says you just finished a car repair job. Hopefully that didn't cost too much.
Attention customers, for your safety and the safety of others, please do not sit on the floor or stairs.
It goes, sometimes they use cranes and even demolish walls to fit pianos and things into some buildings. That's true, yes. Yeah. Particularly in some of the older buildings, right? Like the Art Deco style. Because they could be a lot of the hallways are too narrow to fit, you know, a big grand piano in. Right, we are back on the street level, Vanderbilt Avenue. I'm pretty impressed with how long the gimbal battery is hanging up. Yeah, Vinny says Widow Jane has some great views, or reviews. Yeah, I'll keep you posted. I'll get you the exact date of the event, but I think it's going to be January 14th. Let's go back to Madison and we'll walk up Madison Avenue. But if you're all enjoying the live stream so far tonight, you can feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. Tomorrow, just as another quick reminder, we are going to be sending out the last edition, the last issue of the Behind the Street newsletter for the year. So please check your email tomorrow, right at around 6:30, usually is when we send it out. And in the newsletter, we are going to include the Penthouse tour of our newest listing at 19th Street. Very, very unique, very cool building. So if you want to see that tomorrow, just go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email, and you will be signed up to receive it. The wind is picking up quite substantially here as we walk uptown on Madison. Penelope says, my husband says Widow is overrated but is decent. Yeah, I don't know. What would you, if for any of the big bourbon drinkers in the chat, what would you rank your top 5? If you had to say, okay, these are the top 5 bourbons that are my favorite. Now, I don't know if this is a bourbon. I think it's whiskey. I don't know the difference, but one year, one of my clients got me a gift, and it was a bottle, really nice bottle of Hibiki whiskey. And I didn't really think anything of it, but I went to look it up online, right? Google it, like what he gave me. And the thing cost like $400. And it was a Japanese whiskey. It was like Suntory Hibiki or something. It was cool. I think I gave it to my brother. I don't know what I did with it. TK Porsche, understand please, this Widow Jane is a brand, not a real distillery. It may be great product, but they are just bottling and reselling it. Clever marketing. Wow, interesting. I don't know, the guy was showing me around the distillery. They had like all machines in there. I don't know what they were doing with them, but so Someone says Basil Hayden was my favorite. Nice. Western Mass Dave says don't drink hard liquor except rum. Someone says Macallan. This is the hotel where the migrants are housed. Crispies is Angels, Blade and Bow, Blanton's, Weller and Bibb and Tucker, in that order. Yeah, I saw something on the news that there's always police activity at the Roosevelt Hotel, because I believe that's where they're housing. Oops. All right, well, everybody, I think that's a good time to end it here, because the gimbal is now officially toast. But if you enjoyed the live stream, feel free to leave a like on the video. Click the subscribe button if you're new. And we will be back here live tomorrow, hopefully from Lower Manhattan. We'll be able to see the Christmas tree down on Wall Street. And guys, enjoy your Thursday. I will see you tomorrow. And take care. So Joseph Hardaway, appreciate it. Mikey, Richard Vogel, Hawaii. Thanks everybody. NAV 407, Jimmy Anderson, good to see you as always. Madison 32, appreciate you. James Davidson, Lori Abdullah, there's always a bull market somewhere, you just need to know where to look. And I'll see everybody right back here live from New York City tomorrow. Take care and be well.